It's always hard for me to explain the attraction of these old two-strokes.
We are right on the money, and those timing marks are nice and crystal clear right now.
So yesterday what I did, I swapped out the points and the condenser on this bike, and we're trying to diagnose a miss in the ignition system. Luciano's going to try to stop by today with his tool to do a fine tuning on the timing. I went for a short test ride yesterday. It's still rough. It feels like, at least my diagnosis, when I had the timing light on this side of this cylinder, it was a steady flashing light. On the other side it was an intermittent, so I don't know if it could be the coil still, it could be something else. But here's a good idea: whenever you get to a point where you're not sure what it is, and what we did, we always start with the most obvious thing, the plugs, the next thing the points, the condenser, the final thing the coils. If that doesn't do it, we go to eBay and buy a new Ducati with Luciano's credit card. But he's pretty good at diagnosing this. I like to learn from him. Today will be a good experience, and we're going to try to share it with you.
So what I'll try to do is get the bike ready so when Luciano gets here it is. And we have some work to do on his ZX-10. I don't think we're going to do that today, but if he can get here today, and of course we never know, he's got a busy life too. So I'll get the side cover off of this. I'll get this all ready. Now the good news is, if it turns out to be the coils, Ray has already got in the mail a spare set of coils for this bike, so we can diagnose it, figure out which are wrong, which, if it's one or the other or both, and I don't know. Again, this is why I like to learn from Luciano, because he's got a lot of years of experience working on basically on older bikes. Here's the other side of this. Because I don't have a lot of money invested in this bike, and I have a lot of love invested in it, and Karen did buy me this bike for Valentine's Day 7-8 years ago. What I do have, I really have an emotional attachment, and I'd like to keep it running right on that razor edge. And when it's hot like this, thank God for the fans. Oh man, it gets up in the 90s in the afternoon and you could cook out here. So I try to prep this up as best I could, for Luciano's benefit of course. Got the fans going. Got a pepperoni sandwich out on the deck here. Not really. Got the plugs out of the engine. I got to pull a side cover off of there yet, so he can do his thing with the electronic. We've got the coils out now that we can test the coils, and as I said, Ray is going to send me a set to diagnose this with, if we can't solve it today, and if we do solve it, even better. But, or if I have to, once I know the coils are bad, I'll just buy a brand new set of coils. What makes this a little bit easier than it normally would be is having a quick disconnect on that. It just makes you spill a little bit less gas in the shop every time you take the tank off. We got the plugs out, and I have already swapped the plugs, and that didn't do anything. The brand new plugs, and these are the Iridium that I got a lot of miles out of. I don't know exactly how many, but these lasted forever. And so I have this set only has a test ride on it. So the plugs are out, side cover's off, and I'm looking around for anything else that I can do to prep up before Luciano gets here. Now I have to go out on an errand, and I'm going to be back. I hope Luciano's back when I get back, or not ever, who knows. But we're trying to coordinate a lot of things here today, and one of these errands that we have to do is one of the top ones on the list. So, but getting this done today, if we can get another step forward, and if it turns out that we need the coils, I know they're already in the mail from Ray, so, and that'll let us. But I think Luciano said, at least when I talked about money, he can diagnose these with his electronic stuff and see if they're bad. And well, I guess we're going to find out. Now in the old days, this is funny, in the old days we used to get, and I remember this, and it's even in that magazine article, we used to use car coils, and you put hose clamps on them, and that bike that's on the cover of the magazine had hose clamps up under the tank, and 3 coils. Oh my God, just remembering that. But I know if we can get these working, that'll be even better. Now, here's the bad news. If you have a thing when you're diagnosing it that the bike won't start, well, you know as soon as the bike starts, you know you fixed it. When you have an intermittent, that's why I hate electricity. It runs great, pop, 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 runs great, pop, 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 pop. Something's, well, when it's electricity, you can't, you know, it comes and goes. So my personal thing is I hate electricity because I'm just prejudiced. But I don't mind working on a plumbing problem. I don't mind putting shingles on a house or anything I can see and touch and feel. But when it's this invisible force that makes spark plugs spark, well, but that's why we pay Luciano the big salami money. So Luciano got here, but we got to take Karen for an errand. This is an important errand. How would we describe this errand? Nuclear war? All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. We'll take a ride. We dropped Karen off, and Luciano's looking to see if there's any gremlins in there. Plugs are out already.
Okay, give us a screwdriver.
What do you want to do? You just want to put it on top dead center?
Yeah, I want to see if the timing marks.
Okay. There's what makes this job possible, the giant fan. You can't see. You want me to turn the lights off? Sometimes there's so much reflection in there you can't see
I
it.
don't see the timing mark on
On the flywheel?
the flywheel.
Okay, you're gonna pull that whole thing off, right? And luckily we got expert help here now. Oh my God!
Anything that needs a hammer, I'm here for.
Hey, you know how I can tell you're really smart? You got a white jacket, not a black one today. Oh, was it hot the other day?
At least on the back. If the back of your jacket's white, you're
Now that hasn't been off since I owned the bike, so if there's monsters in there, they're on you.
come returning gift.
We got the carburetor off. Now you got to push that out with a screwdriver because we want to pull that
I
off.
can push it with my finger.
Oh, okay. Oh God. So Turbo Steve has expensive Kawasaki. Wow. That's one of those retro bikes?
Let the good times roll, baby.
Wow, let the Kawasaki's roll. Very cool.
No, bevel.
So what did you do? You just picked this up?
Yeah.
It's like a
About 3
BSA
weeks
twin.
ago.
Okay, so what's not to like? Nice paint.
You know, they're practically giving them away. I couldn't. I took my stimulus check and.
It's brand new?
Yeah, it's brand new.
2019.
That's a nice looking bike. I like the little fairing. That came with that little fairing, or you added it?
I haven't done anything yet. Yeah,
This is how you bought it, right? Just like this.
How I bought it.
Wow.
It's tempting, but I haven't.
No, I wouldn't even paint it. It looks nice the color it is.
Enjoy it the way it is.
Yeah, the
I don't know
paint
what
is.
color that is. That brown? Is that
I don't know. It
a
looks like
brown
black
gray?
where they put gold flakes
Depends
in
on
it.
the light. You know,
It looks
so-
pretty nice. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I want to get a Triumph magnet to put over here.
Yeah, nobody will know anyway. Yeah, that is a clean. It even got the Triumph looking motors, the mufflers.
That's fuel injection, right?
Fuel, yeah, and fuel injection and ABS.
Well, we don't need ABS. We like going into the ditch at,
I've never
at
had
high
a bike.
speed.
I'll let you know how it works. I've never had a bike with ABS.
Wow, that is very cool.
I gotta
If
get
you
one
buy the ones
that are
like,
shorter here to here.
yeah, the Yamaha ones, that'll be coming out here instead of so far. Is it uncomfortable to ride though?
No, but it would be more comfortable if these bars were back on the head rear.
Yes, yes. Now you could take a set of regular bars and just put them on upside down so they'd have that same bend. I'll bet that would work perfect.
You gotta clear this.
No, it'll be back here, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, I went that far back. I went back about an inch.
An inch, yeah, yeah. It's funny, they always, because they probably use guys that are 7 feet tall when they make this. I always want everything an inch further back or higher or whatever. We're just connoisseurs, that's all there is to it.
It's a weird routing for the fuels.
Yeah.
No, it's not Joe Rocket, but it's a nice color,
I
right?
got
Yeah, the
this
yellow's
from
nice.
Caroselli.
Yeah.
I sold them in the Ducati.
It's light.
Is that a mesh jacket? Sure
Yeah,
it is.
oh,
You can look
yeah,
right
yeah.
through it. Yeah.
That's it.
Caroselli.
Boy, I love that Joe Rocket jacket I got. Ooh, what a difference.
I had one I could have given you. My son's. He wore it like 4 times.
Okay, now with that off, you can see the timing mark a lot better. So we rescribed it and put a little more white paint in there. So the new timing marks, they're nice and bright now, and you can see when we're going to get the spark. You want to put it at 2 millimeters before top dead center?
Yeah.
Okay. We're not going racing, remember. I already beat all those young kids up on the R6s, so. Luciano guarantees if the timing is off now, then he's going to buy a pepperoni pizza and I get to eat it while he watches. Oh,
When I get paid,
oh God, no pizza. So we buttoned it up. I put the carburetor back on. We snaked all the wires back through. There's, well, Luciano's going to hang out until we see if it's, well, I can't even ride it today because I got to go pick Karen up and it's going to be too late. So I'll dedicate another day to a test ride, and then the thing is, if this doesn't make it that it's acceptable, Ray is sending the coils. I'll swap the coils out and see if that makes it better. And at the end of that, if that doesn't work, we'll buy electronic ignition with Luciano's credit card. By the way, here's one good tip when you put an RD gas tank or any of these that have these rubber things. I put a little bit of grease that holds that in place while you're putting the tank back on. That really saves your bacon sometimes. You got enough gas to get home?
Oh, yeah.
I got diesel fuel if you want some.
I was just thinking about it. It went from Italy to Netherlands.
Oh my God.
And now it's about some in Virginia.
Yeah, the jacket, you're going to get it in the winter.
Yeah, probably.
If this bike is running good, Saturday will be a 2-stroke day.
Early in the morning.
Yeah, early, they're early.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the park either, forget the park. Yeah, these bikes. Mark bought another one of these. I think he bought another brand new one. Yeah, well, he's got a lot of money. He's got more money than you and me put together. His has an electric starter too. Whoa, ho! Hey! All right, see you later, friend. So Luciano, thank you very much for our great help today. Now, what we did, we have really accurate timing marks on it. And we're ready. Obviously I have to go pick up Karen now. The timing even worked out pretty good. So Luciano left. The way to stay played out, and we really cooked out here. He really toughed it out today with doing this timing. But we got very accurate timing marks on it now. I used a little Dremel tool. That, once again, I'm using a Dremel tool to make the marks just a little easier to see. I checked it with a timing light just to see, and it looks really on the money. Now, but we still don't know if that solved the problem. We won't know until we take a ride. We're going to plan to do that in the next couple of days, of course. In the meantime, hey, the last couple of days, we put some time and energy and money into this baby, but you know what the thing is? It was good seeing Turbo Steve with his new bike. Nice looking bike, cafe look. In fact, it really does look like a Triumph from far away. But anyway, we are married to our RD. We love this thing. I'm looking forward to a test ride, see if this is better. If it isn't, we still have the coils to work with. So one final thing before I put this away today, I want to just verify with the timing light that we are right on the money, and then we'll be good to go. I'm not sure you can see it on the video because I can't really tell, but we are right on the money and those timing marks are nice and crystal clear right now. It's always hard for me to explain the attraction of these old 2-strokes, but boy, in my case, they bring back some wonderful memories. Time I spend a day like today doing maintenance on one of these old bikes, I wish I could explain, because it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain why you have to shut the gas off. You will be surprised in the morning.
But all the maintenance, and of course these bikes do require maintenance, and probably more than a modern bike, but the bottom line is, it's all relatively simple stuff, and Luciano has been more than generous about coming over with his time. He brought me the mid-pipe I'm going to need for my next project, and Chris has already purchased some of the parts, so we're looking forward to the next Evil Twin project. I'm gathering parts for it. I don't have a final plan yet, but it's coming. And I love Evil Twinning all of these bikes out. I don't know why I do, but I do. And we had a great day today with the bikes and a lot of fun. We cooked out here. It was definitely a lot of fun. I hope, ultimately, really hope, that someday I'm not going to be making this announcement about thanking the COVID workers, because we'll be done with that. But until we are, thank you guys. Thank you very much. And hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.